Hello and welcome to today's historic Best of 3 deck tech and gameplay video, where this week's video is Dragon Midrange. Dragon Midrange can be sort of broken down to a couple of categories. They are engine cards and payoff cards. Engine cards being cards like Orb of Dragonkind, Fearsome Whelp, and Darigaaz's Whelp, amongst other things like Sarkhan and Dragon's Hoard, as ways to either find dragons, to help us ramp into our dragons, or to just sort of generally keep us alive. The other half is basically the dragons themselves, from anything like Terror of the Peaks and Goldspan Dragon to maybe Thunderbreak Regents or Bladewing the Risen. And with that, we hope to just sort of outvalue and have good synergies and generally try and win the game that way. The land base is relatively self-explanatory in the form of red and black lands, that can come into play untapped. You know, your standards, your pathways, and shock lands. We also run 4 Temple of the Dragon Queen, which is a lovely little budget addition to this deck. The rest are sort of self-explanatory lands, from Ramanop Ruins for some extra burn to things like Hive and Castle for some more utility. Sideboard, all relatively self-explanatory. Silver bullet cards, from cards like Cling to Dust for graveyards, Murderous Rider if you need more removal how do I word this? More removal that sort of gets outside of the range of your Dragon's Fire and your Spit Flame, which are damage-based removal. Murderous Rider is nice as a sort of just hard removal spell. Tainted Remedy against life gain decks. Anger of the Gods for decks like your elves and such that happen to go wider than you. A couple Shadow Storms for the loads of affinity decks sort of floating around, and a couple of Chandra Awakened Inferno against the control decks that are like really heavy counterspell based. And that is the basics of the deck. We'll go now into game number 1. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more. And if you have any comments, as long as they're somewhat nice, I'll do what I can to respond to each. Now, on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little Dragon Midrange list. Go ahead and play first. 4 landers, 3 spells. Pretty good. Odds are it'll be probably a Whelp first. See if our opponent happens to be here. There we go, everything's all recording well enough. I mean, hopefully our opponent's here. There we go. Yeah, go ahead and mount first. Next turn, it'll probably be the Ruins. Island from opponent. Alright, no. Fair enough. Plan remains largely the same. But if we are going against mill, we do want to try and apply some pressure here and there. Try and end this quickly, because mill is an aggro as well. Okay. Well, was it a fatal push, maybe? Yeah, we lose the orb, but it's not that important. Now, next turn, we'll go ahead and play a Pathway on black, play the Regent. We'll help to punish our opponent for trying to remove our stuff, which is lovely for what we want to do. Yeah, let's do this thing. With any luck, if our Whelp happens to survive the next turn, we can always Glorybringer down one of the crabs. Sit there and try and stop them from their core game plan. This is not great. That's fine. That's not the most aggressive turn, so sure. You know, we'll get 2 black, that way we have access to everything in the deck that we need. And we will go ahead and desert. Destroying one of the ruin crabs. And if if they go to remove any of our dragons with the Thunderbreak, they'll take some damage, which is very nice. You have 2 Ramana Ruins in hand. All very helpful to our Hoard gameplay. Yeah, reinforcing. What are we at? We're at 24. Damn. Yeah, wasting no time. We're doing pretty good, all things considered. I think we'll go ahead and spit flame down the Ruin Dragon. Now, if nothing else, we sort of have lethal on board from just our Ramanap Ruins, which is one of the reasons why I love 4 copies of Ramanap in basically any red deck. They practically function as like better mountains, and sort of start your opponent off with a lower life total. Is a good way to think about it. 2 cards in hand. They can't really destroy anything on the board. Okay, I think they're just getting cast triggers for quite a while. And just go ahead and let's not be rude. It'll be somewhat efficient every time here. Against Mill, I think we just run it again and try and look for a similarly good hand on the opener. But that was pretty good at showing what the deck kind of wants to do. So if nothing else, we got, assuming, you know, our opponent doesn't leave or anything like that, we have a good keeper for game number 1. They're really in the tank. If I was them, probably gonna bring in either some form of like black removal, maybe some counter spells. It's possible. I really hope they're here. I would like to very much use this game. Come on, please be here. Oh, thank God. Sweet, they're there. We're really kind of in the tank here. Which we'll take. Opponent will, of course, go first because they have a brain. Got 4 lands. 2 drop. We'll keep it. It's not the greatest hand, but it's fine. Good enough that we don't want to give towards the mouth. And the Dragon's Fire does allow us to interact with some of what they're trying to do. Go ahead and Blood Crypt tapped, since we have nothing else to do this turn anyway. I guess the real question is, do we... Well... I guess we could... But I'm sorry, what? As long as you control another row. Okay. That is certainly not the card I expected to see. Yeah, that totally threw me off. We'll go ahead and play the Ruins. I guess play the Whelp. The Whelp sort of working as an additional copy of the Orb. Hey, sweetheart. I can hang out with Dad. Just relax, Goober. Why that card? I mean, it's not bad. There is technically synergy. It's just not what I expected. Sure. Go ahead and Temple of the Dragon. Revealing our 3-cost Regent. Maybe red. I think I'm going to not attack here. They do trigger off each other. That is a thing. What the fuck? Okay, that one makes a little more sense. Were they like a budget rogues list this whole time? So I'm going to be honest, that threw me for a loop. Go ahead and eat that, that's fine. Fascinating, honestly. honestly, I think we're going to take this turn off to play an Orb. We're going to need to Dragonfire down one of the Thieves Guild Enforcers. I would imagine they have another one. They're probably going to play it before this resolves. Why would you not do that? Why would you not? That's very weird. Okay, we're not going to attack. They just, what, nothing? Oh. Okay, I would have played what, okay, that's where that threw me off. We're good now. Okay. Doing okay here. Next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do 4, 2. $1 question. That's, yeah, we'll go ahead and trade one. Not great, but kind of have to. They might remove the Whelp, but I don't think they will. It's pretty low impact, all things considered. Go ahead and pathway on red. Let's see. So we can play the Regent first for 2 red, thanks to the Whelp's ramp ability, which is very nice. Then we can Bladewing. Counter that. So in that case, we'll bring back a Glorybringer, which already happens now. There's nothing they can do about that. Go ahead and exert. Probably getting rid of, honestly, the Death Touch one. I would like to be able to block that a little more safely. If they take the trade with the Whelp or they chump block with it, that's fine. We're not going to complain too much about that. Doesn't take the block. You just, okay, I mean, that's a choice. I would argue that that was almost a free trade. I'd at least get rid of the Whelp. Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, we'll take it. I'm not too picky. Anywho, on to game number 2. And game number 2 with our little Rakdos Dragony mid-range list. 5 lands. Okay, we'll keep it. Odds are we'll draw into something good, hopefully. Go ahead and Blood Crypt tapped, since we don't have anything to do anyway. Fed in pools. Alright. Another Blood Crypt tapped for much the same reason. Our opponent appears to be going slower, which is good. Alright, what are we doing? Are you some sort of Dimir control? With a fetid pool. Go ahead and play a Mountain and play Dragon's Hoard. This will give us a Glorybringer next turn, and we'll start getting our gold counters up on the Hoard. Act as our full card draw. Is it like a thief deck? Alright, I'm down. Let's see, play the Temple of the Dragon Queen, revealing the Glorybringer. Go ahead and name it on red. And we can use the Glorybringer as a removal spell. So we'll go ahead and exert it and get rid of their Thief of Sanity. Since if they're able to steal a lot of my cards, like the Glorybringer, amongst other things, they can only really work against other non-dragons, which is, you would think wouldn't come up that often, but it does. Let's see, we might as well draw since we can't attack with a Glorybringer. That's not what we wanted. We have enough land, so I think we can, well actually, no, we'll be responsible. I was going to crack the Orb of Dragonkind for its second ability, but they're black. They could be running Thought Seizes or some sort of hand disruption, so I'd want to wait until the end of their turn to give them a very small window of opportunity to, like, really do anything. Okay, it's a Blood Chief's Thirst. So you have original plan, crack open the orbs. You have enough mana to cast basically everything in the deck anyway. We'll go ahead and get Terror of the Peaks, as this is another one of those cards that'll really help to disincentivize our opponent targeting it, since it does have that, like, same little ability as the Thunderbreak Regent, where it's painful to remove it. And our opponent, being Dimir, is probably nothing but removal. And also does allow our subsequent dragons to be either removal or burn, taking 2 damage. Wait, what? Okay, so he's getting 2 damage from his grasp, and 3 damage from my Terror of the Peaks. What the hell? Future Spell Thief. 3 mana, 3/2 flash. When this ETBs, conjure duplicate target spell into your hand. You may cast mana of any color to get cool. That's fine. He's still really hurting himself, which is good. Go ahead and save the drawing off the Dragon's Hoard for the end of the turn for much the same reason. Okay, flooding out's not great, but that's not bad. We can use some of that. Go ahead and play the Whelp. Crack the or cash in on the board here. Bladewing's not bad. We'll go ahead and sacrifice 1 of our Ramunap Ruins. Get our opponent as low as we can. Keep on applying pressure. They might very well remove the Whelp, and that's fine. Let's see, how much mana will we have next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Already enough to cast the Bladewing. It does have an Infernal Grasp. Bone Grasp. Ooh. I don't know if that saves him, but that's cool. That's very cool. I like the list. Plan remains the same, though. We'll do it on black. Why not? Bladewing. We can still have a Glorybringer in here, and much like we did earlier in the game, we'll go ahead and use the Glorybringer as removal to get rid of their 1 flying blocker. This game has been really good for showing, like, how the deck wants to work, which is fantastic. Very good. I don't think we need to run that much different. They didn't appear to have that many counter spells, right? So they're more taking my stuff and removing what they can't take. I think we can just run it. If they had a lot of counter spells, and maybe they do, and I'll, like, look real dumb, then we might bring in the Chandra. And maybe if they do, we'll bring her in for, like, game 3 or match 3, or however you want to word it. But I think we're in a good spot to just play it again and hope anybody to run them down. I had to check the recording there because I do not want to lose this good game's worth of footage. Let's see. I'd be very surprised. Like, what would they bring in besides, like, more removal? Because their deck clearly didn't lack any. I mean, maybe sweepers, but black. It's not Wrath of God that black has. It's white. I think Damnation is the black version. Ugh. Because we're on the draw and our opponent's playing black, we're going to go ahead and keep this. We have a game to lose if this happens to be a particularly bad keep. And if... Okay, well, I was going to say, if they had, like, a Thought Seize, the only thing they could have taken on turn 1 was a Dragon's Fire. It's so really fascinating. I don't know if that's good, but their deck is super interesting. Because I haven't really run into, like, a good Thief deck in a while. Like, in any video. Gotta go ahead and decline, since we don't need any of the extra damage that Dragon's Fire can produce. We want to hold back as much information as we can. That's not good. That is not good. So he's going to get a hit with the Thief of Sanity. This is great. Does it... Let's see. Does combat damage to player? Look at top 3, exile 1. Face down. Okay, so he can cast it even after the thief is gone. Yeah, you don't really want to take the engine card. Is that what he... Did he take a Thoughtseize for me? Okay, I mean, I guess that's the best situation. Although he's not really going to be able to, like, unless he has another one. Odds are we're going to have something to do next turn. Oh, he takes the Thunderbreak. Okay. Fair enough. Sarkhan's pretty nice. In that case, we're going to start playing temples and revealing things he already knows we have. So go ahead and play a Sarkhan if it has a counter spell maybe. Or that Infernal Grass might be good too. We'll go ahead and just throw away the other temple here. Correction, I wanted that temple anyway. So stupid. Siphon. This guy's deck is fascinating. Face down, you cast it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, if nothing else next turn, if they don't tap out, which is a big if, granted. You can Glorybringer and take down the Thief of Sanity like we did in the first game against him. Oh, okay, I guess he really needs a land drop. He is going to leave Sarkhan up. I guess he could, because he knew he was going to get a free hit in. Okay, that's not great. Need his own big, scary 5-drop dragon of some sort. This is going to be interesting, because, like we talked about, a lot of my deck is, or like the Glorybringer only works against non-dragons. It'll work. Oh well. Let's see, we'll go ahead and discard the other temp. Well, let's get rid of the other Sarkhan. I don't need it that bad. Didn't need another land. Okay, he's got 1 black mana. I don't think there's a 1 black mana spell in the game that lets him get rid of this. You need to get rid of the thief. Not to mention it's the only target anyway. Which does have to be said. Does he just immediately block with the Regent? Doesn't. Both at 14. Does he have what card is he holding? Maybe like a bounce spell, like an unsummon style thing, maybe? Oh, Cling to Dust, okay. I mean it's not a bad card, I guess, to be fair. I need to grab Glorybringer. Ah, crap. That is particularly terrible. Does he send both to Sarkhan or both to Face? Okay, good choice. Is there a... No? Okay, let's chuck away and maybe we can find a Crux of Fate here. It's not a Crux of Fate game. Sure. Decline, name red. We're alive, technically, which isn't great. Is it spell or ability? It is spell or ability for Regent. That's... Oh, okay, we were done. Well played. Our opponent should, yeah, I was about to say, just should, since they're winning, go for it. Very fascinating. I guess in that case, maybe I need some writers here. That's really interesting. We cut though. Honestly, the Dragonfire has been not that useful. We'll cut down a couple of them. They don't appear to have, or yeah, they don't appear to have that many creatures that can be even hit by the Dragon's Fire. Is it great? Not to mention if he did grabs one of my Thunderbreak Regents or Terror of the Peaks, it gets, or the Goldspan Dragon, it gets really painful very quickly to like remove my own threats, which is actually useful to show sort of acidity in my deck. So thank you, opponent, I guess. Which we'll take. Go ahead and play the Darigaaz as well on curve. Just because it has a very useful kicker effect, don't let that stop you from just running this card on curve. It's good enough to just run it on curve. I think I'm gonna actually chuck away Thoughtseeds. I kind of don't super need it, because their deck is a thief deck, which is fine. So I know they're basically going to be thief tools, control tools are my cards. I don't super need to know, if that makes sense. What's in their hand? Like, yeah, I could have gotten that, I guess, but like, there's no way he wouldn't. He also could have just flashed it back next to him. Oh well, let's see, we'll get a castle. And then we will uptick the Sarkhan for his ramp ability.
Might demands power.
Probably play a Goldspan, since they almost certainly have, if nothing else, they have the priority for Siphon Insight. They might have like a remove as well. I'm sorry, what? What the fuck is that card? Target opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Creature mana value 2 or less. Get a duplicate in your hand. Take the Whelp. That is fine. Well, okay, yeah, no, that's fair. It's very cool art though. Very, very pretty and ominous. Good use of color in a black card, which is always a good sign. And it does do what he wanted to do. If he goes to remove the Goldspan, you do get treasures out of it, which is nice. Fucking hostage taker. This was the card I was expecting to see. Thank God there's no more Agent of Treachery, because that card was hell on earth, man. The card really sucked. Go ahead and get the Glorybringer. Same thing, insert it to get back our what's it called? Goldspan. Is that back in play? Yeah, it is back in play. I thought so. Go ahead and probably play a Temple red. Go ahead, discard away a dragon. Or not a dragon, sorry. We can discard away a land looking for a dragon and get a land anyway. Good talk. Okay, he can play, if nothing else, the Whelp. He can't kick it. Soul Servitude. Let's see, I love that they're using like genuinely like cards I've never seen. Target player sacrifices non-token creature. When you do, you may discard a card. Sacrifice creature in your hand and you can cast it. So you get the Glorybringer, and you have to discard. He loses the Thief. I guess he's gonna play the Whelp to chump block. Okay, that's fair. Let's go ahead and discard away this Hive. I don't have a great amount of use for it right now. Whelp is not bad. Honestly, it might just be a Whelp. We'll go ahead and kick it. Showing off like great mana sync that is a kicked Whelp. Go ahead and attack. Now we have the ability to Murder's Right or something if we need to. They're probably... Really, you're not going to chop that. Why? Why would you not? That's so weird. Okay, even if he plays the Glorybringer, both my board being dragons, means he can't exert and kill it. Why would you not? That's very weird to me. Like, okay, you can turn on a Hive, which is a thing. I mean, granted, they don't know that I have removal, but they have to suspect it. They've seen removal. They know I do run some. Why would you... If nothing else, you gotta play the Glorybringer to... Oh, wait a second. That Soul Syndicate thing. Oh, okay, no, it does show it. Okay. Okay, it doesn't show it in the effect, it shows it on in text on the card. Okay, that's fine. My brain was missing what was happening there. Go ahead and swift in, down to Glorybringer. Just love it. Okay, let's see. Draw a removal spell that we just got, so just end it quickly and be done with it. Their deck was really fascinating. They actually deserved a good game. It was so, like, that was actually really fun. I usually don't enjoy thief decks, but that was just... I guess with no more Agents of Treachery, thief decks are a little easier to deal with because you have, like, interaction with it. Anywho, it's a pretty good video, and I hope showed the deck and all that it can do and sort of how it wants to play. An absolute banger if you wanted to play a different kind of tribal deck that operates in a different axis or sort of plane or however you want to word it. This deck is 100% that. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, sub if you like my content, and comment down below if you have questions. Thank you all, and stay safe out there. Bye-bye.